Hey guys, this week's video is going to be kind of short. We got the middle school fall retreat coming up, so things have been crazy around here. On top of that, Story of Moses, it's one that gets told a lot, so I feel like you guys have a pretty good handle on it. If you don't, first thing I would do is recommend reading chapter 4 of the story, if you haven't already. And if you want a little more detail, then you can read chapters 1 through 14 in Exodus. That's the part we're covering this week. It goes all the way from the birth of Moses to the parting of the Red Sea and the Israelites leaving Egypt, and we'll pick up after that next week. But I do have some cool things that I want to point out. Just a couple things that I think really show us our place in what God's doing and how we respond to that, as well as God's role in the things He has us do. So let's jump right in. Now, the first thing I want to talk about is how we react when God tells us to do something. We don't react well. It's the biggest problem for us. That we pray and we pray and we pray and we ask for God, show me what it is you want me to do. And when we finally figure it out, when we finally see what it is that God's pointing us towards, we don't go, we don't do it, we don't want to, we just have so many issues. And Moses had this same thing going on. We see that in Exodus 3:7 through 11. Then the Lord said, I have surely seen the affliction of my people who are in Egypt and have heard their cry because of their taskmasters. I know their sufferings, and I have come down to deliver them out of the hand of the Egyptians and to bring them up out of that land to a good and broad land, a land flowing with milk and honey, to the place of the Canaanites, the Hittites, the Amorites, the Perizzites, the Hivites, and the Jebusites. And now, behold, the cry of my people Israel has come to me, and I have also seen the oppression with which the Egyptians oppress them. Come, I will send you to Pharaoh, that you may bring my people, the children of Israel, out of Egypt. But Moses said to God, Who am I that I should go to Pharaoh and bring the children of Israel out of Egypt? This is during the burning bush. God himself is speaking to Moses through a bush that's on fire but not burning up. And God tells him, I've heard Israel. I've heard the people suffering, and I want you to go. I want you to go and save them. He's tried to save them in the past, and it hasn't worked, but now God is telling him to go do it. He should be filled with this confidence, knowing that God is sending him on this task. But what does he do? He says, well, who am I that I should go? Why me? I'm not that great. Moses goes on, and I'll just read some of these. Exodus 3:13, Then Moses said to God, If I come to the people of Israel and say to them, The God of your fathers has sent me to you, and they ask me, What is his name? What shall I say to them? Moses' first thing is like, well, how are they going to know who's sending me? What if they don't believe me? Exodus 4:1, Then Moses answered, But behold, they will not believe me or listen to my voice, for they will say, The Lord did not appear to you. God told Moses to go. Moses is still coming up with these excuses. Exodus 4:10. But Moses said to the Lord, O my Lord, I am not eloquent, either in the past or since you have spoken to your servant, but I am slow of speech and of tongue. Now he's trying to make an excuse. He's like, oh, well, I'm not a good speaker. That's not what I do. So I think you got the wrong guy, God. I think you got it wrong. Just to let you guys know, God doesn't get it wrong. And finally, Exodus 4:13, But he said, Oh my Lord, please send someone else. We end right there in just pleading. And Moses saying, God, send someone else. We do this constantly. When we get a call from God, when we see that something is being sent to us from God, that He is sending us on a mission, how often do we come up with these excuses and say, oh, but there's someone better. Oh, well, I'm not good at this. Oh, that's not my thing. We come up with them all the time, but we get reassurance. Exodus 3:12 says, He said, But I will be with you, and this shall be the sign for you that I have sent you. When you have brought the people out of Egypt, you shall serve God on this mountain. All of those excuses melt away under that one phrase that God says, I will be with you. Because the thing is, if God is sending us, we can't fail. If God is sending us, then God is going to be with us. And if God is on our side, then there's nothing that can't be done. So now skipping to the end of the story and looking at where it is they end up. You know, Moses goes to Egypt with Aaron speaking for him. And they go before Pharaoh a number of times. Pharaoh constantly refuses to let them go. The plagues come, the 10 plagues that we hear about all the time, including the Passover, the killing of the firstborn. And then Pharaoh and the officials agree to let the Israelites go, but after they do, they change their minds and they go after them. We have seen this story over and over again. And that's where I want to pick up. We know that God told Moses that he would be with him. And that's nice. God will be with him. But we get to see it here. On top of seeing all the work that God did in Egypt, we get to see God with his people here at the end of the story. And we're going to pick up in Exodus 13, 21 and 22. And the Lord went before them by day in a pillar of cloud to lead them along the way, and by night in a pillar of fire to give them light, that they might travel by day and by night. The pillar of cloud by day and the pillar of fire by night did not depart from before the people. So they're being led out of Egypt, and they don't know where they're going. They don't have directions or anything. God just says, you know what? Follow me. He's this big pillar of cloud, and he's a big pillar of fire, depending on what time of day it is. And the people follow him. Just like he told Moses he would be, he is with them. And it says that the pillar of cloud by day, the pillar of fire by night, did not depart from before the people. And that was true until the very end. God departed from in front of the people. But God did not depart from the people. This is in Exodus chapter 14 when the Pharaoh and his army catches up with the Israelites. And we see what God does here. In Exodus 14, 19 and 20, then the angel of God who was going before the host of Israel moved and went behind them. And the pillar of cloud moved from before them and stood behind them, coming between the host of Egypt and the host of Israel. And there was the cloud and the darkness, and it lit up the night without one coming near the other all night. When God says he's going to be with us, that means a lot of things. That means he's going to go before us, and he's going to lead us, and he's going to show us the path with where he wants us to be. But that also means that he's going to go behind us. He's going to go behind us and stop everything that's trying to get us, everything that's trying to stop us from that mission. You guys are in a mission field right now. Being in college is a mission field. I'm sure that you guys have been there almost a month now, a little over. And you've had a chance to meet a ton of new people. How many of them are God telling you to talk to? How many of them are God putting on your heart and saying, hey, check in with this person? And what are you saying to him? Are you making excuses like Moses did? Or do you take his word when he says, but I will be with you? And when he shows us that he's going to go before us and make the way, and he's going to come behind us and defend us. Which one of those are you falling into? Well, guys, that's it for this week. Like I said, with the middle school retreat coming up and just a ton of stuff going on around here right now, keeping it short. If you read the chapter in the story, if you read the chapters in Exodus looking for a little more information and you're still not satisfied, call me, email me, text me, Facebook me, tweet me, leave a comment down below in the video. There are so many ways to get a hold of me. If you're looking for information, I should be able to help out. And if I can't help, then I can at least put you in contact with someone who can. hope you guys are doing good. Hope you saw the announcement about the mission trip. I would love for some college students to go. Um, we're opening it up to you guys, and it's going to be a ton of fun. So contact me if you want more information. We'll have the applications on October 4th. But cannot wait to see you guys again. I know fall break's coming up, so stop by and say hey.